Well, good Friday morning, everyone, from deep in the heart of Texas. Lucky Duck, your small-time gambler, with you this morning, and we're going to be looking at this weekend's college football games and see if we can pick out some winners. Our pick of the day yesterday, the Oakland A's came in with a 3-1 victory late last night, so we cashed that ticket. So that's always a good thing. So hopefully we can pick up another one here today and be cashing this ticket tomorrow evening. We have several games we are interested in. The first one we want to look at, if we roll down here, bear with me. Okay, don't see anything yet. Okay, here we go. Michigan State. The Spartans are hosting the Hoosiers from the University of Indiana. Michigan State comes in at a minus 630 on the money line. Actually, that has been reduced down a little bit, but we'll go with 630 here for now. Michigan State comes in at 3-1, coming off a 31-10 victory over Northwestern last week. The defense is pretty stout, only allowing 11 points per game against them. So look for a tough defensive battle from the Michigan State Spartans. Indiana, on the other hand, they're also 3-1, coming off a 38-3 victory over the University of Connecticut. The only Big Ten opponent they've played this year is Ohio State, and they got railed pretty good in that one, 51-10 by the Buckeyes. Also, Indiana, this will be their first road game of the season. So we'll have to see how they play on the road. So we're going to take Michigan State on this one at minus 630. Next game up we liked was the TCU Horned Frogs. They'll be hosting the Kansas Jayhawks this weekend. TCU's coming off a 41-38 loss to the SMU Mustangs. It's the first time they'd lost to SMU in quite a while. They come in at 2-1. They did have an impressive victory at Purdue 2 weeks ago, beating the Boilermakers pretty soundly, 34-13. Kansas is in a rebuilding mode, which it seems like Kansas, their football program, is always in a rebuilding mode. Last week they lost to West Virginia. The Mountaineers came in and beat them. Week 2 they had a pretty bad loss to Coastal Carolina, getting beat 12-7. So we like TCU here. They are coming in at minus 650. So we'll take the Frogs on the money line there. And then finally, the last one we like, if for none other reason than the nickname of the team, the Louisiana Monroe, the Warhawks. I mean, how can you go wrong betting with the Warhawks, right? The Warhawks come in at 1-2. They got trounced pretty good last week by Iowa State, 72-20. But they did play Florida State, pretty tough game a couple weeks ago, dropping a 45-44 score. So even at 1-2, we still like Louisiana Monroe against the South Alabama Jaguars. South Alabama comes in at 1-3. Their last 2 games, they've only scored 9 points. That's 4.5 per game if you're a mathematician. And last week they lost to the Alabama Birmingham Blazers. Pretty one-sided score there at 35-3. So we don't think that the Jaguars can score enough points to keep up with the Warhawks. And once again, how can you go wrong betting with the Warhawks? Louisiana Monroe comes in at a minus 655. So we'll also take that one on the money line. Now these numbers are some pretty big numbers we're looking at on these 3 games. One way we can get that number down, we'll go to our website, Number One Sports Picks, which you can get our picks of the day every day if you don't want to go through the heartache of listening to my voice on these videos. You can just go here and get the picks. These are yesterday's picks. Because I said we had Oakland. Excuse me, we had Oakland to beat Seattle, which paid off. And then at the bottom of the page we have the results. And you can see here NCAA football so far this season we're 10-2. And in Major League Baseball, we picked up another win last night, so that puts us at 65-24. What we're going to do here to knock this number down a little bit is do a parlay bet. And to do that, if you'll go to number1sportspick.com and hit the betting lines button at the top of the page, and what that'll do, that'll take you to the current odds, Las Vegas lines on any of the major sports, and then the internet lines, which generally are a little bit better and less overhead, I guess. But at the bottom of the page, you'll see a parlay calculator button. If you hit that button, that'll take you to the parlay calculator, and we can put in these odds and see what kind of odds we will get with our parlay bet. Now, a small time bet for me is a $20 unit. I say I'm not a big bettor, but $20 per unit is where I'm comfortable. So we have 3 games in the parlay we're trying to hit, so we're going to bet 3 units total. The first one, Michigan State, I believe that one was 630 if I remember correctly, so it comes in at minus 630. Excuse me. TCU, I believe that was a minus, was it 650? And finally, the Warhawks coming in at a minus 660. So we'll put that in, and then if we come down here and hit calculate, it'll give us our payout for a $60 bet, which would be $32.37, which is about a minus 185 on your payout. So that's what Lucky Duck, the small town gambler, will be putting his money on this weekend. If you want to follow along, that would be wonderful. Good luck to all of you, whatever teams that you bet. I hope they all come in winners, and I'll see you at the window as we cash those tickets. Until next time, this is Lucky Duck, the small time